If you would, just bear with me. I'd like all of you to picture a steering wheel in your mind, like the steering wheel out of your car. Just take a moment and picture that steering wheel. What color is it? Now I want to tell you a little secret. Oftentimes when you ask somebody to do something, they might say, yes, steering wheel, okay, okay. But I actually ask you to look what color it is. And that causes you to reflect a little bit deeper. Okay, mine's black, mine's gray, mine's brown, mine's yellow, mine's wood. I don't really care what color it is, but I want you to get a picture of a steering wheel in your mind. Now we're going to pretend for a moment that this steering wheel is the steering wheel of your life. What I'd like you to do now is just imagine for a moment that this is the steering wheel you're going to take, whether it's black or brown, whatever color it is, this is the steering wheel you're going to take, that you're going to steer yourself through the rest of your life. What I'd like you to imagine doing now is I'd like you just to pretend that everybody that has ever put a hand on the steering wheel of your life puts their hand on it now. I want you to put your mother's hands on the steering wheel. I want you to put your father's hands on the steering wheel. I want you to put God's hands on the steering wheel. Allah, whoever, whatever your belief system is. I want you to put your religious leaders, your teachers. I'd actually like you to put your spouse's hands on the steering wheel, or your children's hands. Anybody or anything, it doesn't even have to be a person who has grabbed onto the steering wheel of your life. I'd like you to imagine now that they're putting their hands on the steering wheel and affecting your life. It can be old history you wish you could forget. Yeah, that sometimes really messes with our lives and causes us to steer our lives in many different ways. I'd like you to put economic hands on the steering wheel. Maybe financial struggles, maybe riches. It doesn't have to be just people who've affected your life. It may have been an event, a piece of trauma, a horrible thing that happened in junior high. Whatever. I'd like all of those pieces of history that in any way have affected your life to grab on to the steering wheel of your life. Now, as you look at the steering wheel, are there very many hands on the steering wheel? For some of you, there may be hundreds. Others, there may just be a few. This is not meant to be a trick question, but what I'd like you to look and see, are your hands on the steering wheel of your life? If they're not, get them on. It's your life. Now, holding the steering wheel, get your hands in on the 10 and 2 o'clock position, get a good grip on it, good solid grip. Squeeze your hands in between all the others, and while you're holding that steering wheel, I want you with your right hand to start plucking everybody else's hands off that has ever messed with your life. If they're loved ones, you can put them in the back seat, strap them with the seat belt, and lock the seat belt. Put them in the glove box. Put them in the trunk. We'll put an air conditioner or a heater in the trunk for them if you want. But clear off everybody's hands off the steering wheel of your life so that no one else is steering except for you. I'd like you to take your mom's hands off, your dad's hands off, your kids' hands off, economic hands off. I want you to take anybody and everybody that has ever grabbed onto the steering wheel of your life. I'd like you to take their hands off right now. If it's old history, you can throw them out the window. But just imagine what it would be like for just a moment, steering your own life, no one else steering. Now, there were times in my life where that was very frightening. I didn't know if I could really steer my own life. Well, for just the next few minutes, I'd like you to imagine that you're now steering.